Well, Texas is going through horrific storms, and millions of Texans have lost power, have lost heat, and have been hurting. And our family was among them. We had no heat and no power. And yesterday, my daughters asked if they could take a trip with some friends, and Heidi and I agreed, so I flew down with them last night, dropped them off here, and now I'm headed back to Texas and back to continuing to work to try to get the power on. What's happening in Texas is unacceptable, and a lot of Texans are hurting.
What's up and welcome back to my channel. All right, so before I get started, I forgot to mention this yesterday, but please do not forget to go to my website at letstalkdarling.com. Make sure you scroll on to up to the top and follow me on all my social media platforms, which you will see there very clearly. And then scroll on back down to the bottom where you can enter your email and I can stay in contact with you. And I can also send you exclusive stuff that I would not put on social media. In addition to that, there is a donate button on there. That donate button is if you so wish to donate to the channel to help support the channel, but also a lot of that money goes towards supporting causes like what we're going through right now in Texas. I actually have 8 families that we are trying to sponsor and help feed and provide supplies for, that they have been displaced from their homes because of the storms here in Texas and still do not have power and water. So if you want to donate to that, please make sure you hit that donate button. Okay, so let's get started on today's video. As you saw from the intro clip, we are talking about Senator Ted Cruz hopping on a plane and going to Cancun, Mexico. Now, I'm going to probably upset a few of you because maybe you think that I might think about this a little bit differently. But I'm just going to go out and say this because I always try to keep it real here. And, you know, my opinion is my opinion. I don't do it to like please anybody. I just do it to express my opinion. And I want to explain why I feel this way. So a lot of people were pretty outraged to see that Senator Ted Cruz took a flight to Mexico amidst everything that was going on in Texas with the storms and people without power. And he claims that he was flying to Mexico with his daughters. Now, I have since confirmed that his wife was there with him. His 2 daughters were there with him. He was planning on actually staying in Mexico and working remotely. But because there was a huge uproar about him going, he quickly turned around and took a flight back. I believe his family stayed over there. Now, the reason why they went to Mexico was because his family, just like many others, was sitting in a dark, cold house in Dallas, Texas, and his daughters were like, Dad, school's canceled for the rest of the week. We're miserable here. We have no power. We have nothing to do. And some of our friends are going to Mexico. Can you please take us? So they decided as a family to go to Mexico. So here's my thoughts on it. Honestly, I don't blame him. I am here in Texas. I was, going through all this in real time. And if I had the opportunity to take my family and go to a warmer climate, a better place, where we could kind of just let this blow over, I would. Now, that being said, I'm not a senator, okay? I'm not a public official, so I don't think anybody would really care if I went or not. So, I do agree that the whole optics of everything, probably he could have put a little bit more thought into. I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know how all that played out, but I understand why people are upset, okay? But here's the thing, what you guys need to understand. His title is senator, okay? He's not governor. He really is not in charge of doing anything like climbing up an electricity pole and fixing the electricity problem. I mean, he is a senator. His job as a senator, like verbatim, is to represent his constituents, inform the public of decisions made that will impact the community, serve on various committees, introduce legislation. And I mean, that's about it. You know what I mean? I think people are putting a lot more pressure on this than there needs to be. Should he just maybe for I don't know, optics sake, just toughed it out, stayed on the ship, as we all suffer, just to kind of show unity with his community? Maybe so. But you guys, here's the thing. You can be a politician and a dad and a husband at the same time. It's not 24/7 that, you have to always think about your job. Okay. Those of us that are, you know, that or people that work in corporate, you know, jobs, you know, you might be a CEO, you might be a president. There may be things going on at your company. And as a CEO, I've been at companies before where, you know, people maybe weren't getting raises because business wasn't doing so good. And my CEO took off and went on a vacation or, you know, took some PTO, and nobody like faulted him for it. I mean, yeah, we were a little salty because we couldn't do it. But, you know, I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like people are being a little bit too harsh on him for this. And I think it's more about, you know, just people being upset because they had a right to be upset. It was miserable here. Like the third day in, you know, like we were kind of snapping at each other here. You know, we weren't in a good mood anymore. Like, you know, the fun part of being trapped in the house with your family and just kind of like watching Netflix or playing games or sitting around and just like taking naps all day wore off. You know what I mean? So we were all kind of getting annoyed with the situation. So I think a lot of that impacted people's reaction to this. Now, what I will say is this: in looking into how old his daughters were, 10 and 12, why you would take a 10 and 12-year-old to Mexico, especially Mexico, is beyond, I don't know, like that wouldn't have been the place I would have gone, especially considering everything, you know, like, you know, Mexico is not the safest place right now to be with everything politically going on. So I don't know what the reasoning as to why they chose Mexico. Maybe they had family there. I mean, his last name is Cruz. Okay. He could have family there. He could have, you know, people that they were meeting up with. I don't know. I don't know all the details to that. Okay. But here's another thing I'm going to bring up. Okay. And this is more for the people that are being very critical of him and not so critical of other times that other politicians also did very similar insensitive things that they shouldn't have been doing when their state or community was in need. Okay. So I'm going to point out a few of those things, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments box below if you agree with me or not. Okay. Nobody, and when I say nobody, I mean, the right was pretty harsh, okay, about this, was very critical of this, but nobody on the left, which is the majority of the people that are really attacking Senator Cruz, was as harsh with Gavin Newsom when he was having dinner at French Laundry with all his pals without a mask, when everybody was being told you can't go anywhere, when businesses were being told you can't have your restaurant full of people. I think he had a table full of like 10 or 12 people. Okay, nobody was criticizing Gavin Newsom on that, right? Here's another one. What about when Nancy Pelosi went and got her hair done? She had the salon open up just for her so she could get her hair done while the rest of the world, like, my roots were growing out, okay? I, needed a haircut desperately, so much so that those of you who've been following me for a long time, I had a platinum blonde pixie cut, and I just gave up on it because it was so long that I was having to wait to be able to go to the hair salon. I was just like, well, I might as well grow my hair out. No, not Nancy. She made special arrangements for her to go to the hair salon, get her hair done without a mask, okay? While everybody was wearing masks 24/7, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. Ha! If that's not enough, another one. Do y'all remember when lawmakers and politicians decided that they needed a retreat, okay? They didn't have that retreat, and they decided they needed that retreat in the midst, this was like 2 or 3 months ago, in the midst of like supposedly the worst outbreak of COVID that we had seen since the outbreak started. But they decided that a retreat was needed, okay? And that retreat, wasn't gonna be in Detroit, wasn't gonna be in Minneapolis, like the places that they really needed to be to figure stuff out, wasn't gonna be in Oregon, right? Wasn't going to be in Seattle. No. They decided their retreat was going to be in Hawaii. They decided that they needed to go to a tropical island when everybody was on lockdown, use taxpayer dollars, okay, not their own money, use taxpayer dollars to charter a plane to go to Hawaii to have a retreat. What actually came out of that retreat? Has anybody heard what was solved in that retreat, or what huge impact them meeting, made? I haven't heard anything. But see, this is the thing, is we want to pick and choose who we attack and what we attack them over, okay? I will say this, okay? I don't think Senator Ted Cruz, necessarily like made the safest decision in going to Mexico. I don't think, he really thought through how people were going to view this, right? But I think he had every right to like make a call and say, hey, we're sitting in a house with no electricity and no water. My family's freezing. My kids are miserable. I have the means to do so. Let's go on a vacation. Let's get out of here for like while this blows over. I can do all the things I usually do as a senator that I was doing in Dallas because everybody's working remotely anyways. He could do it from wherever, right? So I don't know, like what's the big deal? Why are we so upset? Why are we spending so much time being so angry over this when there's so many other things that we need to spend our energy focusing on and truly being upset about? So to end this video, I'm just gonna say this. I think we all need to get over what Senator Ted Cruz did. Let him own up to it, okay? I wish he would have spent a little bit more time kind of really admitting that he planned on staying there through the weekend rather than making it seem like he was just escorting his daughters there and then turning around and dropping them off. That really wasn't his plan initially, but I think maybe that's how his office spinned it. I don't know, to save face, but at any rate, let me know what you guys think in the comments box below. Are you pissed that he went to Cancun? Do you kind of see his side of things? Do you really care? Let me know. Give this video a like. Give this video a share. And don't forget to come back for another one because I'm going to have a lot more stuff for you guys. Thanks so much and have a good one. Bye-bye.